Welcome to the first week of Scaffolding Learning. I'm Tan Nguyen, and I'm thrilled that you've joined this course. Each Sunday, I'll post a video, and each week we'll gather for a group coaching session, which is my favorite part of the course. In this video, I will describe how the course works, introduce you to your fellow classmates, explain the concept of scaffolding, and offer an optional assignment where you can apply one of the strategies you've learned. We'll cover one scaffold per week, and the focus of this week is on sensory scaffolding. Feel free to skip through the video to watch the sections most relevant to you. There's always a subheader in the bottom of the screen that tells you which section of the video you're watching. To skip around, click on Show More and use the time links to jump to a specific topic. To make this a collaborative and social learning experience, I will be using Voxer as a form of communication tool. If you have questions, share it. If you have an observation, share that too on Voxer. There's tremendous expertise in the cohort, and we can use Voxer to tap into that. I like it because you don't have to type your messages, you can just speak them. Let's watch a video about how Voxer works.
Phone calls and texting are inefficient and time-consuming. With Voxer, talk and connect instantly with your team from wherever they are. Create one-on-one or group chats and communicate using audio, text, photos, videos, and yes, of course, even GIFs. All messages are sent in real time, saved, and stored, so rest assured your entire team will be in sync regardless of who's on call that day. It's the fastest way for high-performance teams to communicate by saving you what you need most in your day: time.
What you're seeing now is the scrolling chat from our Scaffolding Learning September 2019 on Voxer. Notice how people are sending images, they're sending voice recordings, they're sending text messages to each other to support each other's learning. And this is the power of our group text message on Voxer. Please send me a Voxer message once you download the app, if you haven't already. Then I will add you to our group chat on Voxer. While this course is more about you and less about me, it's necessary to describe a bit about my teaching experience because I've based this course on my experience implementing research-backed strategies. But instead of talking at you, let's make it interactive. I will display 4 photos at a time. Your job is to use the photos to describe my experience. Let's try. I work with beginning ELs completely new to English. I work at international schools where we value group work and inquiry-based learning. I also work with content teachers to help them teach ELs. I've lived and taught in Laos for 6 years, and now I work at an international school in Thailand. Throughout this course, I will sprinkle in activities like the previous one so that you can use it in your own classes. You can use this strategy called photo bank when starting a new topic or a new unit. Present images and have students form a narrative using the images. It's an active way of building background knowledge. As of January 2nd, we have 20 participants coming from 6 countries. Donna, Jody, Vanessa, and Christine are from the same school district from North Carolina. I love that they're coming together to learn as a school district. Though the majority are from the US, we have Erica joining from Portugal, Anka from Uzbekistan, Aaron from Switzerland, MJ, Sharon, and Kathleen from Canada, and Harsha from Japan. I've invited everyone to record an introduction on Flipgrid. Let's hear from some of your classmates now.
Hello, my name is Erica, and I am an ESL teacher at KZO, Carlucci American International School of Lisbon, and I have been here for over 13 years. And currently I work with 6th through 12th graders, but I've worked with K through 12, and I have lived in the United States and Morocco and Peru and now Portugal. This for the longest time. Okay, looking forward to meeting everybody.
Hello, my name is Sharon Martin. I'm from Langley, British Columbia. And what's really funny is I didn't realize what's in the background. You see, I not only teach ELL, which I've done for 2.5 years, but I run a bed and breakfast. So that's all our laundry behind me. And I apologize, but I didn't realize I've never done this before. I met Tan in Burnaby when he was doing the speech to all ELL teachers, and I was very moved by his emotional contact. And I guess for me, if children aren't content, they don't learn content. So in January, I want to always improve, and this is why I'm taking this course. So thank you very much. I was impressed by, I believe it's Erica's traveling. I haven't done a lot, so I'm looking forward to this course. Thank you.
This is what our Flipgrid looks like for the introduction page. Notice that Sharon and Erica have responded, and I have responded as well. And please, when you record your introductions, also please record a hello to a few other classmates. It creates a sense of community. I invite you to introduce yourself to your fellow classmates on Flipgrid. Though we may never meet face to face, we can still interact with each other and have a dynamic community through our tweets, our comments on Google Classroom, and our group coaching sessions. To make this video more interactive, I like for you to look at the following words. Together, these words form the definition of scaffolding. Pause the video and write down your own definition of scaffolding using these words. This strategy is called build a definition. I didn't give you a definition up front. Instead, I had you use the words in the word bank to create your own definition. Try this strategy with your own students. Tony Ward-Singer, author of ELL Excellence Every Day, shares a graph about the appropriate levels of scaffolding. The axes are level of support and level of challenge. Both axes can be low to high. If we ask students to do challenging work without or not enough scaffolding, students will withdraw at worst or disengage at best. If we do not challenge students or over-scaffold for them, they'll stagnate. The purpose of a scaffold is to temporarily support students. However, if we can provide, like Gibbon says, a high challenge task accompanied with high support scaffolding, then students will learn. It's not meant to be there forever. Scaffolding guru, Professor Pauline Gibbons, points out that scaffolding can move students towards new concepts, skills, and understandings. Scaffolding is used when we want students to understand something, which is called comprehensible input, or when we want them to communicate their ideas, which we call comprehensible output. They can be used with any discipline. I've used them with students in history class, science, math, design, and even art classes. When students demonstrate appropriate levels of understanding, or mastery, or independence, then it's time to retire the scaffold. Remember, scaffolding is only temporary. I think in metaphors, and a metaphor for scaffolding is the training wheels on a bike. Training wheels are meant to be of temporary support to a person who's learning how to ride a bike. When the rider feels comfortable, we take off the wheels on the side. I've never seen a competent bike rider who asks to have the side wheels placed back on. What metaphor can you think of for scaffolding? I'd like for you to find an image that represents scaffolding, download the image, and upload it to our class Padlet. Then write a quick note to explain your metaphor. You can even upvote a metaphor that is particularly clever and relevant so that it floats on the top of the list. Asking students to create metaphors for a new topic or a concept, event, or historical person, or a process is another strategy I recommend for you to try with your students. It's another active way of getting students to process and synthesize information because it requires them to create rather than just listen and absorb. It's a great strategy to develop critical thinking and can be used across disciplines. I'm excited to see your metaphors. John Hattie conducted a meta-analysis of the different teaching practices. He evaluated their effect on student achievement. Some practices cause students to make 1 year of academic growth, which is at a 0.4 on his scale. Other practices can also cause students to experience an achievement gap, which is anything below 0.40. Practices that have an effect size of greater than 0.40 produce more than 1 year of growth from 1 year of instruction. Can you guess the effect size of scaffolding on learning? It's 0.82, meaning scaffolding instruction produces 2 years of growth in 1 year of instruction. I think this is because teachers use strategies to make content comprehensible so that students can understand. Additionally, teachers who scaffold promote comprehensible output for students. Scaffolding does not mean less rigor. It just means making learning more possible. Think of mountaineers who climb Everest. They take oxygen tanks with them, but do the oxygen tanks shrink the height of Everest? No. The tanks make the climb to the summit more possible, just like scaffolding. There are 5 types of scaffolding. I will display the definitions on the screen, and your job is to match the scaffolding type. Pause the video to create the matches. Here are the descriptions matched with the correct form of scaffolding. I bet you got all the answers correct. You can use this matching strategy, which is not new, to help students review previously taught information. While there are an infinite amount of strategies that we can use to help ELs learn, most of the strategies we use fall under one of these 5 categories. This week, we'll focus specifically on sensory scaffolding. Let's watch an animated video I created to teach you about sensory scaffolding. Sensory scaffolds are strategies that teach content through our bodies and our senses. When scaffolding with our senses, teachers will have students manipulating and moving objects around, looking at visuals that represent concepts, when applicable, smelling something, listening to audio, or tasting something. The goal of sensory scaffold is to make abstract ideas more comprehensible. Teachers already use visuals to quickly and effectively communicate abstract ideas when they embed images in their presentations. Without images, students are dragged through lessons where teachers talk at them like this. The process of plants using water, sunlight, and oxygen to produce glucose and carbon dioxide is called photosynthesis. You would have fallen asleep by now. Alternatively, we can share images as we describe a concept. I would say, photosynthesis is when a plant uses water, sunlight, carbon dioxide to produce oxygen and sugar called fructose. Visuals are my favorite form of scaffolding because they're big yet easy wins. We can also use objects to teach abstract content. If you had to teach the concept of tension in design class during the bridge unit, how might you teach tension using objects? We had students pull on ropes to have them understand the concept. Teachers can easily incorporate students' listening skills to help them understand concepts through YouTube videos. Because they use visual and audio to convey meaning. However, many videos have complex language and not accessible to many ELs. What can we do? We can slow down the speed or change the subtitles to students' home language. Like, for obvious safety reasons, we rarely ask students to taste something or smell an object. However, when it's safe, we can employ these senses to teach abstract concepts. For example, in Mr. Arnold's science class, we wanted to teach students that plants make glucose, which is a form of energy. We had students taste various fruits and vegetables. Students then ranked which ones they thought had the most glucose, and we compared the results to nutritional labels. This helped them realize that all plants do make sugars in the form of glucose. When we scaffold using our senses, we make concepts a little more accessible, and in doing so, we place student achievement at the center. The title Sensory Scaffolding is quite self-explanatory. Like all scaffolds, sensory scaffolding can be used to teach content, check for understanding, or assign work. In the following video, you will hear me provide a synopsis of each of the strategies of these categories. You can add images to your presentations in such programs as Google Slides, Keynote, or PowerPoint. The images connect students' concepts and topics. You can also embed images within a table to help students connect to the topic. Tables help organize images and can include space for limited text. When teaching vocabulary, include an image that helps make the vocabulary more concrete. Students remember the vocabulary more when there are images associated with the words. When teaching content vocabulary words, it is very important to have images. I like to include content vocabulary with images within Quizlet, a free online flashcard platform that reinforces vocabulary words. Through various types of memorization games, students learn the vocabulary words. You can turn instructions into flowcharts. Flowcharts serve as visual guides to help students complete the task. The more complex the skill, the more we need to use visuals. Often, a poster or infographic can help students visualize the skill one visual at a time. We can also use sensory scaffolding to help students check for understanding. I sometimes have my students draw images of rather complex ideas. This is usually done as students are reading and are learning new content. The images they draw reveal their level of understanding and provide quick formative data. Mind mapping is an effective way to get students to synthesize information and to form connections using visuals and text. Creating mind maps fosters critical thinking and helps internalize information. You can also have students manipulate digital text, images, and shapes in Google Drawing to check their understanding. We can also use sensory scaffolds to help students complete assigned work. Padlet serves as a digital scrapbook where students can collect images to show their thinking while they conduct research. You can even have students annotate their images to develop further thinking. We can use Google Slides, Keynote, or PowerPoint to chunk a large, long-term project by having each slide visualize a specific step. Mind maps also help ELs visually organize information. Students can color code and draw arrows to show connection. Sometimes students just need the teacher to model a complex task for them. However, there are more students than there are teachers, so we can screen record our instructions and share the link with students. They can watch multiple times, and this duplicates our efforts. Diagrams can also assist ELs as they complete work. They help students complete the work because they condense words and concepts into images. If you would like more details on the strategies I just shared in the video, you can click on the Google Slide presentation in our Google Classroom and read the details in the speaker notes section. When I share strategies, I want you to think of Starbucks and McDonald's McCafe. They share the same principles, serving coffee. The differences are that they serve different audiences and in different ways. When I share a strategy, focus on the principle behind that strategy and how to adapt it to your audience, your context, your age level. When I give you a McCafe, go out there and make your own Starbucks. Did you notice all the ways you can make content more comprehensible? The applications of sensory scaffolds are limited only by our imagination. I encourage you to modify these examples to fit your teaching context. Here's a list of the scaffolds all on one screen. My most used sensory scaffolds are visuals because they require very little prep time and communicate ideas quite effectively and efficiently. However, an underused yet highly effective sensory scaffold are manipulatives. In this video, my students are arranging photos to show how different spheres work together. The only downside to manipulatives is that they require more prep time. If you work with beginners or very young ELs, one sensory scaffold that is extremely effective is using gestures. Let's watch these two videos to see how I use gestures to work with beginners. Balance.
As some people tell you, it does.
Unbalance.
It does hurt a little.
Balance.
Oh.
It's okay. It's fine. Right. Right.
Can I borrow yours?
10.
Can I borrow? When you
10.
finish.
1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 things you see not safe. Do you understand? Okay, let me write it down. Right? 10. 10 things you see that's not safe. Yeah? This
So when the first word out
is
of
not
mouth, you
safe.
give me look over the clock.
When you write in Japanese, yeah? You write in Japanese, running, not safe. Do you work with young learners or complete beginners to English? The strategy that I will show you next is my go-to strategy for these students. But first, I want you to experience it before I describe it. I'm going to teach you about farm animals in Laos. Gather around the carpet as I project this photo. Let me teach you some nouns on the farm. Do ma. Can you say this? Do ma. Now repeat after me. Do ma. Now you say it by yourself as I point to the letters. Great. Do ma. That's a dog. Let's move to the next one. Do gai. Can you say this? Repeat after me. Do gai. Yes. Do gai. Now you say it by yourself. Do gai. How about this one? Remember? One more time, let me say it for you. Do ma. Now you say it. Do ma. Good. Now try this one again. Do gai. Do ma. Do gai. Do you notice? Both of those animals start with the word do. It's a prefix in Laos. Every time you hear an animal, even though you don't know what it is, if you hear the word do in front of it, you know it's an animal. For example, do mu, do mèo, do ba. No, do bear, sorry. Do ma. Ah. So every time you hear a do, it's a prefix for an animal. What's this animal again? Do ma. How about this one? These. Do gai, you're right. Now let me teach you some verbs. Lên, go like this. Say, do ma lên. Now can you lên on your carpet frame? You pretend. Great. Do ma len. I'm going to point to letters and you say them as I point to them. Len. Do ma len. So this len means run. Let me go to the next one. What are these called again? Yes. Do gai. Let me show you this one. Do gai kin. Do gai kin. Say this word in red. Kin. Do gai kin. Do ma len. Show me that. Now you say it. Do ma len. How about this? Kin. Now I'm gonna point to it and you say it again. Do gai kin. Yes, you got it. Kin means to eat. Now let me show you adverbs for these sentences. Now say this word. Why? Do ma len. Why? Say why. Let me show you what why means. Do ma len. Len. Why? Do ma len. Why? Say why. Now do the action. Pretend on your carpet you're running really fast. Because why means fast. Do ma len. Why? Let me go back to this. What are these called again? And what are they doing? Yes. Do gai kin. Now, I'm going to give you an adverb. How are they eating? Sa. Say this word. Sa. Now say these. Sa. Yes. Say it. Do gai kin sa. Now you say it. Yes. This is what they're doing. Do gai kin sa. Really slowly. It's the opposite of why. Do gai kin sa. Now you say it one more time. Let me go back to the do ma. Now you say it as I point to the letters. Yes. Do ma len why. Now you say this. Do gai kin sa. Now, I'm gonna say a sentence and I want you to point to which side of it. And I only want you to do the action. So it's len wai or kin sa. Do gai kin sa. Really slowly now. Do ma len wai. Now that we know 6 words, we can make a combination of these words now, and combination of sentences. Let's see if you understand this one. I'll say it out loud for you. Can you read this one first? Try it. Yes. Do ma kin sa. Do ma kin sa. Look. Before you came to this class, you did not know any Lao, and now look, you can say 3 sentences at least, and I bet you can make even more with mixing up these combinations. Congratulations. Okay, I'll stop modeling now. I bet none of you knew a single word in Lao, but now I bet you can say many sentences in Lao. Granted, only sentences about do ma and do gai. This sensory scaffold is called Picture Word Inductive Model, which I learned from the amazing Larry and Kate from their book, The ELL Teacher's Toolkit, which is one of the best ELL resources out there. I also learned from Valentina Gonzalez, which many of you know because of her amazing sketch notes. She actually has a longer video of this process, which I'll link to the resource post on week 1. Let's watch just 1 minute of it so you can see a master educator do it.
After we title it, then I give them time to talk with their partner or in a group about the photograph, and I want them to talk about everything that they can see. And I like for them to talk about it in parts of speech. So initially I want them to talk about all of the nouns, the people, places, and things that they see in this photo. So they turn and talk, and I give them time to do that. And then I either randomly call on students, depending on the size of the group, or I just let them popcorn out to me and share with me all of the things that they discussed. What do they see? And I label as they talk. So I'm just going to do a quick demonstration of some things that they might have called out on this photo. They might have said that this is a woman, and if they didn't say, then I might also say we can say that this is a lady as well. Arm. You might have said this is head, shirt, jeans. We could go on and on to label the entire photo. And then the next part is I would ask them to put their heads together once again with their partner or group and discuss all of the adjectives, so the words that tell which one, what kind, or how many to describe all of the nouns. And then again, I would randomly call on or let them popcorn out the answers. So they might say the blue jeans, the white shirt, the big gray fish, one young woman or lady, black sunglasses, brown hair, and so on, gold bracelet.
Can you pause the video and do a quick write of the steps for the picture word inductive model, which I call PWIM? Because I want you to process the information independently first before I describe it to you. And yes, you can definitely go back and rewatch the video if you need to figure out what are the steps of this model. The steps of the picture word inductive model are: 1. Display a high quality picture of the content. I learned this trick from Katie, and she said, if you're doing this, type in farm, jigsaw puzzle, and it'll come up with really high quality pictures. 2, label the nouns in a particular color, because this really helps kids. Have them say and read the nouns out loud. Then label the verbs for each of the noun in a different color. Have students say and read the noun and verbs together. So they're really seeing the letters and associating the sounds with the letters and putting that together. Label the adverbs or adjectives in a third color. Have students read the complete sentences with nouns and verbs and adjectives or adverbs together. The picture word inductive model is highly scaffolded because it incorporates visuals, colors, and gestures. I know I gave you an elementary school version, but remember, for every McCafe, there's a Starbucks version out there. Yes, I use this model in the secondary school to teach beginners content knowledge too. It might look like this in a physics unit. When we combine different scaffolds into one, such as the picture word inductive model, we can see how even more comprehensible we make content and language for students. See, you've even learned some Lao. I hope you can give this a try with your kids. The optional assignment is a chance for you to apply something you've learned in this week's video. Like in our classrooms, learning occurs when you apply what you've been taught. However, if life happens, and it usually does, and sometimes you don't have a chance to keep up with the work because of other responsibilities, don't worry, it's fine. The resources on Google Classroom and the videos and assignments will remain there for you to complete at your own pace, and if you like. This week, I invite you to share how you're using sensory scaffold to make content and learning comprehensible for ELs. Though we've touched on 5 types of scaffolding, we're only focusing on sensory scaffolding this week. You are free to use my examples and or the inspirations from your classmates and apply them in your own context, or use a completely different one, not already mentioned. When you're ready to share your work, go to Google Classroom and find the Week 1 assignment. It's on a Google Slide file. Please add an image of your scaffold so that we can have a visual of it. The slides will help you reflect on what you've learned. Once you're done, make sure to turn on the comment function. Your fellow classmates and I will review your work and give you comments. However, we can only add comments if the comment function is turned on. Let's watch this video on how to post your assignment to Google Classroom. To enable the comment function, go to Share, click on this tab, scroll down to Comment, click on Copy, and paste this link into our Google Classroom. You can paste your comment here under the Week 1 assignment, and you can write a little introduction about what you presented. You can click Post. I recommend that you review and comment on 3 of your classmates' work. Please keep the comments positive. I like to use the phrase, "you may consider," because it's a gentle way to recommend an action without offending others. Learning to apply a new skill or concept is difficult, so it's nice to receive encouraging positive comments. Even recommendations can be presented in a positive way. Please don't resolve your comments on your assignment because then other classmates won't be able to read and learn from the thread. John Dewey once said, "We do not learn from experiences. We learn from reflecting on experiences." After you finish your optional assignment, I invite you to record a reflection on Flipgrid for your fellow classmates to watch. It will spur their thinking and offer a way for you to cement your own learning.
I think my biggest takeaway from the video this week was the picture word induction model and how I can connect different inquiry-based strategies that I use in my classroom with things such as parts of speech. We often record what we see or what we think or what we wonder about a certain image, and I really like the idea of adding the grammatical component of talking about nouns, verbs, adverbs, adjectives, etc., and using that as a way to make it very transdisciplinary with inquiry as well as parts of speech and language arts. I really enjoyed all the strategies from the video, and I'm really enjoying seeing everyone else's ideas on Google Classroom as well.
I look forward to seeing your assignments, your metaphors on Padlet, and hearing about your successes with applying sensory scaffolding. Another fantastic way to engage in the course is through the group co-planning sessions. These are recordings from some of the weekly co-planning sessions from the first cohort. Participants come together to ask questions, offer suggestions, and learn from each other. During our 5 weeks, there are 3 evening sessions and 2 morning sessions to provide more options for participants to join. The times are posted here on the online course page, and I will post them each week. A participant from Cohort 1 shared a site called timeanddate.com to help you convert these times in Eastern Standard Time to your own time zone. Thank you, Michael Dempsey, for sharing how to use time and date. So you go to time zone converter. You can add your city. For example, let's say that we're in Bangkok, but you live in New York. You can go and add a calendar date right here, and it'll give you the time. Isn't that cool? Michael Dempsey showed me how to do this over a series of Voxer videos. Yay! This ends this week's video. I'm so excited though to see you on our weekly group coaching session. Make sure you attend. If you have questions, please email me. Leave me a message on Google Classroom or send me a DM on Twitter. I wish you all the best in your journey of serving ELs.